Hey everybody, time for another video. This time I'm revisiting my UFO build. I'm sure you've seen this on my channel before, but I've made improvements to it. I figured out how to do a flat floor inside, as well as made some tweaks. So, for those who haven't seen it before, it's a totally round UFO build. It's floating off the ground. It's not attached to anything. I don't know if I can get you a view of the roof, but it is completely flat and round as well, so I'll walk up my favorite tree. There you go. So flat roof, no holes in it. I've seen other people use domes and more exterior lighting than I have. Not saying they're wrong or anything. They are unique in their own way. I don't like having the holes in the roof myself, so I did it my way. I was probably one of the first people to actually figure out how to do a UFO build. Firecracker berries. So, you've probably all seen the exterior. I've tweaked it a little bit. I've added some colored wallpapers. You may notice this thing underneath the UFO is considerably different than my last video. Lighting and everything is pretty much the same for the lights under the UFO and the circle. But since then, I've picked up the Grognak throne and this neat little fire pit. So I thought I would do this, whatever you want to call it. Some reason for the UFO to actually be here. So if you don't have marsupial, you're not able to jump into the hole here, which is another reason this is here. People who don't have marsupial can jump onto the throne and then onto the pillar and then onto the throne and then in. So even people without marsupial can get inside. Technically, this is the entrance where the arch is. But yeah, the interior has been significantly improved. The previous build I had this flat roof piece and then an angled piece going down where these pieces would be that I'm standing on, and then another angled piece going back up to the base of that half wall in the back there. So you'd have a downslope where I'm looking, and then an upslope, and then a flat floor. I figured out how to do flat floors all the way around. So like my previous build, there is some Z fighting. That's literally just because how accurately I placed these foundations in the first place for the round build. If I were a pixel off, up or down, you wouldn't see that Z fighting. So I was so bang on, it caused Z fighting. Forgive me for perfect placement, I don't know. Yeah, let's have a little bit of a tour here. When you first come in, if you come in the usual way, you have the cockpit. A buddy of mine scored me the electric chair plans yesterday, so I've replaced my pilot seat and co-pilot seat. I've got the GUR because I like her console. It's very spaceship-like, so. And then our daily planner thing, just as another terminal. Doesn't really matter which way I go, so I'll go clockwise. The first cubby is just a scrap box, a stash if you need it, and a tinker's bench. Next is your armor bench, another stash, weapon bench, another stash. This little cubby is my chemistry world, so stash and chemistry station. Ran out of budget. I was going to put some toolboxes in by the power armor station, but you know, budget. Because we got this from the last score thing, I plopped that in. The back of the ship is pretty much the same as it was, where I have the 2 new fusion reactors and 3 vending machines to look like an engine. and then another vending machine behind it because, well, you can have 4 vending machines and I needed the vending space. Got our lovely little outhouse with the alien in it. I got tired of the Chinese Collectron, so I put the scavenger one back in. I have the Brotherhood of Steel, but I'm not going to use it on any of my spaceship or UFO builds because it just doesn't fit. The bedroom area has been refined a little bit. I now have a magazine rack, Unstoppables wallpaper, the Secret Service bubblehead stand. Got a little Silver Shroud plushie on the table here. I like the gurneys because they're actually big enough. Here, I'll show you. Any of the other beds, like the little ones, you lay on them and you don't fit. You're just too big for the beds. These are fine. You get all kinds of space. They may even be a little too big. Anyway, I still have the machines around the opening here for giggles, I guess. The animations on the Giddy Up and the spaceship are really cool. I like them. Alright, so next space over is my office. I went with the green wood paneling. I started with the brown wood paneling. I went, too plain. I used all the other colored wallpapers over there, some of the tiles, so I went, what can I do here? And it sort of suits. Next area over is my little kitchenette, which has seen some improvement now that we have these cool red rocket counters. Next station over is my brewing station. I hid my camp in the back for a little extra lighting. The new c.a.m.p barrels. My bar, which has the new ice box. New c.a.m.p cask, ice machine. For those wondering, yes, I did actually merge that into the wall on purpose so it doesn't look like it'll slide around. And we're back to the cockpit area. So that's the UFO again, revisited with flat interior floors. I think it looks a lot better than the previous build. I don't have things floating over angles and stuff like that inside. The exterior is a little more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Gives a reason for the UFO to be hovering there, I guess, because of the Grognak Shrine. It's really strange. I've actually been seeing more and more camps getting built down here. Normally they're way over there on that lake, but recently I haven't been able to spawn in my camp because there's camps right here for some reason. Don't know why. I deliberately chose this place to stay out of people's way, but there you have it. So that's it for now. I hope you liked it, and I'm actually about to record another, at least 2 videos on spaceship builds I did, so I'll be posting those eventually as well. Thanks everybody.